Namaskar and a very good evening to everyone. I'm very happy to see all of you once again in this Bhagavad Giita series. Today is our sixth session. So I'll begin the session by paying my obeisance to my Guru, Sri Ananda, who's the inspiration behind this sharing. So, as I mentioned in the last few classes, that the main purpose of these sessions is to explore concept and principles of Sanathana Dharma and to make the participant understand the way of Sanathana Dharma. And there are two things. One is Sanathana Dharma, another one is the concept of Purushartha. And today I would like to say one thing about this Sanathana Dharma, the name itself. And I've mentioned from the very beginning, using the name Hindu, it's not a proper name because the name added less implies the geographical identity of the people of Bharat in the past. Okay, and the name Hindu was given by some other foreigners. Okay, especially the Iranians and so on. So there was a river by the name Sindhu. So instead of saying Sindhustan, they say Hindustan. And this is referring to the people, not to religion or faith. And if you look at the word Sanatana Dharma itself, okay, it's formed with two words. Sanatana means ancient or eternal, and this refers to the soul, the Atman, and also Brahman, or the Supreme Consciousness. And Dharma means the property or the expression of an entity. So that's the natural expression of Atman, of Brahma. So in this context, Atman in this universe is to find its way back towards its original stand, Brahman. And while it is in the journey in this universe, in its various forms, because it doesn't take the jiva, the jiva Atman in its form, because the Atman is changeless, its form, its nature as the witness is the same. So you don't do anything to the Atman, you can't do anything to the Atman. In fact, in the Gita itself, in the subsequent slokas, Lord Krishna will say, you cannot cut the Atman, you cannot burn it, you cannot, you can't do anything, you cannot touch it, because it's beyond the ordinary sensory perception. Okay? It's a state of awareness. Okay? That's the reason in Vedanta, or the conclusion of Veda. Okay? Vedanta means the end of Veda. Okay? There are 4 Vedas. So Vedanta is actually the conclusion of the Upanishads. Okay? There are 4 Mahavakyas out of that. It's just like you do math, you try to find the value of x. Eventually you say x is 10 or x is 5 or something. So here x is, you're trying to find what is this Brahman is all about. So, and what is the nature of truth that the rishis were finding that time. So one of the conclusion is Aham Brahmasmi. But this is the declaration of Atharva Veda. And Tattvamasi is the declaration of Yajur Veda. That Pragyanam Brahma, the declaration of Rik Veda. And Ayam Atma Brahma, the declaration of Sama Veda. So all these points go only to one thing, that you are Brahman, you are the Supreme Consciousness. That is your nature. But now you have taken the form of Jiva. And not just one form, you have taken many forms. And currently you are in the human form, either as a male or female, and also belong to a particular ethnic group. Yes? And you also may identify with your professional status. I'm a doctor, or teacher, or lawyer, or something. Or I'm poor, or I'm in the middle class, or rich, and so on. But all these are changing natures. Okay? So this changing nature is called Apekshita Satya in Sanskrit. The nature of Brahman is Satya. Satya is a permanent nature, changeless. Okay, so that is Sanatana Dharma's, what you call, in brief, okay, what this word Sanatana Dharma implies. So the next thing which I also will remind the participant from time to time, every week, is the concept of Purushartha. Okay, so this Atman in its incarnation in this world is also known as Purushartha. Okay, Purusha means because he's the indweller of the body. Okay, the body is known as city of 9 days. Okay, Navadware Puri, they say. Okay, Puri means city, city of 9 days, refers to the 9 holes in human body. So the indweller in that deha is Purusha. Okay, this Purusha comes to this world to fulfill 4 things: Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. To look at it on another perspective, each time a jiva takes birth in this world, it has a physical body, then, and you may or may not aware of the mental body. Okay? So now in modern science, in modern era, somehow we are exposed to the idea of mind, about subconscious mind, about unconscious mind, and so on. Okay? In the past, not many people know about it. Because you have the physical body, so one of the Purushartha means the duty or the endeavor of Purusha. Okay? Or what is most desired by Purusha. So first Kama, fulfillment of the need for survival. Okay? Food, sleep, sex, house, medical treatment, all this comes under Kama. Then Artha, okay? Because human beings, they are more developed than animals, plants, and any other living beings. They have a developed mind, and that developed mind results in a more developed intellect. So this intellect will not sit, will not be satisfied with their current state. They always look for ways to improve their life. So the cavemen try to improve. Before they use the cave as shelter, they don't even know how to. They used to live in a different, maybe they climbed the tree and so on. Then later they learn to live in cave. And later, the progress continues, and now we are building a very, very sophisticated building as a result of architecture, science of architecture. Okay, and also transportation, okay? From bullock cart, okay? Horse cart, bicycle, train, motor car, plane, and so on. All this is the result of Artha. So Artha is the urge, psychic urge, the mental urge for expansion. Okay? And this urge, the outcome of this urge is progress. Okay? So these two, we all are aware. We are naturally aware of these two. Okay? Even if you don't understand these terms, we all know that we are in this world to survive, we are here to progress. But the Dharma Shastra says we are primarily here, the primary expression of human being. As a human being is Dharma. Dharma means what? To know your own nature. So my Guru, in one of the sutra that he composed, in Ananda Sutra, okay, in one sutra he said, Brahatesana Pranidanancha Dharma. Brahatesana means the urge to become great. Okay? Because in every human being, there is a seed. The seed, just like a seed will become a tree. Okay? The seed in us will grow and eventually lead us to become an enlightened being. So, but Dharma will awaken in the later stage. But even before Dharma is awakened, the Dharma will be guiding you in your Artha and your pursuit of Kama and Artha, knowingly or unknowingly. Okay? But at one point, the awakening of Dharma will take place, and suddenly you will begin to ask all the questions. Okay, but who am I? Where am I going? Okay, who's God? Okay, and what is the source of my life and so on? Okay, all these questions. And after you begin to pursue Dharma, even that will lead, you will be more responsible in your pursuit of Kama and Artha. Because without Dharma, you will do a lot of mistakes by being selfish. Because the nature of human being, because they will inherit that selfishness from animal kingdom. That's like if you see in the National Geographic documentary, the cheetah will struggle hard, to catch a deer, and the lion will come and snatch it, or the hyena will come and snatch it. So that is still. But in animal kingdom, that is their struggle for survival. And in human kingdom, what we do, you will go and draw your salary from the ATM card, the snatch thief will come and take away. Just like the hyenas do in the jungle. Okay, so why they do that? Because they feel they are very important. Okay, my survival is important to me. I don't care about other people. So that selfishness is inherent, and that's why human beings need to cultivate. Need to be disciplined and cultivate good conduct to develop themselves. Okay? That's why. What do you call? But in the beginning, it doesn't work. That's why we have law enforcement. But law enforcement also can only work to a certain extent. Okay? It's not stopping this thing, but the desire of stealing should be absent from an individual. Okay? But it happens gradually. But every individual, they can speed up their evolution, speed up their progress by pursuing Dharma. When you pursue Dharma, you will pursue a particular path for your spiritual evolution, such as yoga. Okay? Or some other tradition, maybe they follow the Zen meditation system, Buddhist meditation, could be anything. But all this is is a result of Dharma. So now, naturally, most people, okay, to understand, now you have 4 baskets here. The fuel for your current life, the last week I've mentioned about this, that human being, for them to live in a particular life for a particular period and to do the things that they do, they require fuel. Okay? What is this fuel? This fuel, so mistakenly, erroneously, people always call karma. Oh, my karma is like this. My karma is good. My karma is bad. See, the proper word for it is not karma. Karma is fresh action. Okay? What you do, the action that you perform, a new action is karma. The result of that action is karma pala. Okay? So the karma pala of one action, two action, for example, you throw a ball, okay, to the wall, towards the wall, and it bounces back. Okay? The one bouncing back is samskara, karma pala. So there are many karmas performed, and the collective karma pala is known as samskara. And this samskara also is collectively is known as sanchita. It's a bank of samskara. So all your samskara to be born in this world. So easily at your current state you will have 10 to 15 life, in queue. And your current life is known as prarabdha. Means you're supposed to live for 70 years this life. So that is your prarabdha. Based on your prarabdha, your lifespan will be determined. Your parents will be determined. Your future spouse, your current spouse, your children, your profession, your economic status, so on and so forth. Okay? And because you have a certain amount of willpower, there's another form of samskara called agami karma. So agami is what you're capable of doing. Okay? But it's just like you're tied in a pole. So based on the length of the rope, you have your free will to move about. It's just like that. Okay. So, but basically, based on the given prarabdha, your samskara will be distributed in these 4 baskets. If you are very evolved, you will have a lot of fuel in dharma. You will have distributed fairly in artha and kama, and some in moksha. But if most average human being, 70 to 80% of their samskara is in artha and kama. Okay, so maybe very little in dharma. Maybe 10 to 20% probably. Okay. But you can always cultivate because you have this agami karma in your hand. Agami is also known as kriyamana. That means you have your free will. Instead of watching TV, you can do meditation. You can study the scripture. So that is in your hand. Okay. You can join the satsang here or going to an ashram or find a spiritual master. Or you can search the internet for some good thing to develop. I mean, some good articles or something. Okay. Or you have what they call the option to sit on the couch and just watch TV. Okay. So it is up to you how do you use your free will. Okay, and the more shakti that you have, the more sadhana, the more spiritual practice you do, you have more shakti, and with more shakti, you have more willpower, and that will allow you to what they call modify your karma, modify your character. But I think a lot of people will be excited with that idea, but it's not that simple. Okay? Even first you have to gain the Shakti. First you must have the willpower. Okay? So we should learn to live with your the what you call the present momentum of prarabdha, but by cultivating more dharma, by involving yourself in dharmic pursuits, like doing sadhana, studying the scripture, trying to look for a master to guide you. You already do service. Okay? This will help you a lot. Okay? So basically you have a fuel. It's like 100%. So how your fuel is distributed is every fixed based on your previous life. The momentum which came with you earlier, but somehow you can still play about it. Okay? If you have any doubt about this, you can ask me at the end of the session. Today, I will introduce another important subject, another subtopic. That is satsang. What is satsang? So in Sanskrit, it says satsangena bhaven muktir asatsangesu bandhanam asatsanga mudranam jat tanmudra parikirtita means that through satsanga one achieves liberation, whereas asatsanga leads to greater bondage. Okay. So what is this? In satsang, sat means good association. Okay. So for example, we are having a satsang now. Okay, because of COVID-19, we are not supposed to go out. You cannot go to your nearest temple or nearest ashram or any place similar places. You couldn't go. So we have the Zoom platform for our satsang. Okay. Through satsang, you associate with self, with positive people, with positive ideas, right? Okay. And whatever happened to you, last week we covered about mind, unconscious, subconscious, and conscious mind. So I mentioned that your body is controlled by the conscious mind, and your mental activity, your thoughts, controlled by subconscious mind, and your samskara is in the unconscious mind, and unconscious mind is not just one layer, it has 3 layers. So one layer, the samskara is stored in one layer, another layer is the layer of higher awareness, and so on. Okay. But today, particularly, we will look at the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is the mind that the layer of mind which you could manipulate, which you could utilize to your advantage or to your disadvantage. Because the subconscious mind is just like a house without a door. Okay. So anything just can just go in. When you don't filter, hear the thoughts, okay, the information you get. Okay? So they have in fact done a lot of scientists have done a lot of research on this. That they put people in the when they hypnotize people, the person can recall the number of electric pole which he passed while driving, although he didn't look at it, never consciously look at all those things. So that's how sensitive this subconscious mind is. It can just pick up information. So the people with whom you associate with, okay, you have conversation with them. So if you have some good friends who always talk about positive things, so that's a good association. So the subconscious mind receives positive information. You associate yourself with some negative people. Those negative people will show negative ideas. So not only people, you also see a good movie. You can watch good movie, an intellectually stimulating movie. It's good. Can make you think. Also can see some bad movies, bad ideas. You know, like that. Good books, bad books. Even in social media, okay, you can receive good message, bad message. Okay? So the idea of the gurus when they say, when they stress on the importance of satsang is that you have to polish your mind, your subconscious mind from time regularly. You always feed it with good information. This has to be done. So make sure that you keep the always associate, always involved in satsang. Okay? All right. So, so that is one thing. Now, the other point is, okay, we are having this, what you call satsang. So what is the purpose of this satsang? So in the past, this satsang always belong, it is conducted in ashram environment, okay, where the student will go to the teacher. And there is a particular method for studying. For example, if you are studying Gita, so like last week, the Gita said you are the Atman. The nature of Atman is eternal. And the Atman will not die while there will be changes in the body. So this is one important statement. So you heard it, or you read it, you heard it in your mind. That is Shravana. Okay? Somebody can pass that information to you, or you can study it yourself. And then the next stage, you should reflect the meaning. This process is called manana. Okay? First is Shravana, and it's manana. So this is contemplating. The third one is to be immersed. Okay? Living and breathing the truth. So it's immersed in that thought. And that will lead you to meditation. That will lead to your higher awareness, higher state of awareness. Okay? And these three processes will actually affect your subconscious mind. So you can do in the proper meaning of Sravana, Manana, Nididhyasana is associated with spiritual practice, spirituality, studying about spirituality. But naturally, we all are doing Sravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, the negative thing. Bad movies, bad people, bad books, bad association, basically. So make sure that you do proper Shravana, Manana, and Nididhyasana. So while I congratulate all of you, so I'm sure you have taken this effort very seriously. So some of you are participating regularly every week. Okay, and maybe you might be doing other things. Maybe you're studying, you might be studying the Bhagavad Giita, or some other books, and also you might be doing some personal practice. So all these are good. Okay, that means you will be moving forward by utilizing this Okay? So that's I mentioned earlier, but about the subconscious mind. So again, we will look at these three states of mind. The unconscious mind is the mind with infinite potentiality, because only through this, by unfolding the unconscious mind, you can access your soul, you can access your atma. But this unconscious mind or the karana mana is always cloudy. Cloudy because you are very busy in your pursuit of survival and progress in the world. Okay? And then the other mind, so basically subconscious mind is in between the unconscious and the unconscious. And conscious mind will work according to the inborn instincts. Okay? So like basic instinct, food, sleep, sex, survival. Okay? And the subconscious mind is the only active mind which is in your control, where you can use it to your advantage or your disadvantage. Now, when there's one important thing, that in this world we are not alone. We are constantly dealing with other people. For example, you live in a house with your family or friends. So in your family, so you have some people whom you're dealing with. Then you'll be going to your office. There are some people, your superiors or subordinates, okay, co-workers, and you'll be traveling. So yeah, you'll be seeing other people, other motorists. Then you might be going to other places like shopping complexes. So wherever you go, you'll be dealing with other people. So the instruction of Shastras is, the instruction of Dharma Shastra is, make sure that whenever you deal with people, so how you deal with people, you will be dealing with people with your five sensory organs, five motor organs, and your mind. So they say, Parahitartham, Manmanasa, Chatartatvam Satyam. So Parahita means, Para means others, Hita means welfare. So the meaning of this sloka is, you should follow Satya. Satya means to ensure that every action of yours with your senses and your mind will result in welfare of others. Okay? So the worst case scenario, at least make sure that it doesn't harm. Okay? That's the minimum requirement. But make sure at least you do good. Always you do good to people and never harm people. And when you behave in such a way, okay, this Satya is one of the item, one of the requirement in Yoga Shastra. When you bring the 8 limb of yoga, there's Yama and Yama. Yama, there's one item called Satya. They also have Ahimsa, Asteya, and so on. I mean, Ahimsa means not to harm others, not to injure others, and Asteya means not to steal. And there are other few items there. But Satya, so why Satya is especially emphasized here is that whenever you go against the principle of Satya, you are the first person to know it. Okay? Like in Hindu mythology, they have this, they say when you die, the Yamaraja, okay, the Lord of Death, what do you call, the Yamadharmaraja will come and drag you and punish you. And all your misdeeds will be recorded by what they call Chitragupta, the assistant of Yamadharmaraja. Okay. So now, actually, this so-called Chitragupta is your own mind, okay, your own conscience. So you are the first person to know about the mistakes that you do. And the mistake that you do, so because the more mistake that you do, the more harm you do to others, will create a guilt consciousness. And that guilt consciousness will affect the alignment of subconscious mind with the unconscious mind. And as a result of that, you will not be in tune with your Atman. And when you are not in tune with your Atman, you will face a lot of challenges in your life. And a lot of places where you're supposed to get victory, you will lose. Okay? This is a very simple instruction which has a very deep, what you call, a simple act which has a very deep consequence. Okay? So make sure you don't become a Satya Vinodi. Okay? You should become a Satya Sri, Satyavan. Okay? In fact, Satya is equivalent to Brahman. In one of the Upanishads, it says Satyam Jnanam Anandam Brahma. Okay? Yes, one of the attributes of Brahman itself. Okay? So to ensure that there's a proper alignment with the unconscious, subconscious, and conscious, make sure that you follow Satya in every action of yours. Okay. So now we shall see some takeaways from the last class. So in last class, all those slokas that we saw. So the first bullet you can see, the Atman is permanent. The Atma, the Atman is permanent. And it is also deathless. And it continues to transmigrate from body to body until it achieves moksha. So this is a good news to most of us. Okay? So most of us might have this feeling that what will happen to me after death? Okay? Will I be destroyed? Is that the end of my journey? So Atma is permanent. But there's also bad news that if you do bad things, you're going to carry that burden. Okay? So it's a good news, it's a bad news. And second bullet, life and death is a natural phenomenon and should be accepted. So the vanity, the duality of life should be accepted. Okay? And we always welcome the first one and we don't welcome the second one. And Lord Krishna himself will say in Gita, in subsequent slokas, he will say, that which is born will die, and that which is died will be reborn. It's a natural phenomenon. Okay, I'm not saying that I'm not saying that we are not supposed to mourn the losses whenever you lose someone very close. You know, all of us will. There'll be this period of bereavement, but we have to come out of it. Okay? Without proper training in dharma, okay? Without what you call pursuing what you call this jnana yoga, okay? We are studying dharma, so we will not be prepared to actually face this eventually, this death. Okay? So for most people, that will be very will be a tough thing. Okay? That's why it's better to prepare earlier. Okay? They say make hay while the sun shines. Okay? So it is important to study about dharma constantly. Okay. So the next thing is, okay, before the third bullet is the relationship between Jivatman and Paramatman should be understood properly. Okay. So I'll come to this again in the subsequent slides. Okay. So let us look at again. This is from last week also. Jivatman and Paramatman. So when you see in the Upanishad, the story says that there's a tree, pipal tree.
So, Patma, can you present the slide again?
Hello?
The slides is not presented.
Okay. Okay, just excuse me for a while. Okay. Let me share the slide again. Okay, is the slide visible now?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I'm sorry for the glitches. Okay, now let's look at this tree. So they said, so there's a pipal tree. In that tree lives two birds, and one bird is busy eating the fruit every day, and the fruit is sometimes sweet, sometimes bitter, sometimes sour and so on. And based on the state of the taste of the fruit, the bird will be either happy or unhappy. But it constantly also look at the other bird. It seems to be undisturbed, uh, anything, and also not eating the fruit, it just witness the other bird. And this bird began to become curious why this bird is not eating and why it's really steady. And from time to time, it will have the urge to go and see that bird, you know, and ask about why it is not eating. But again, you will again get busy with what they call eating the food. But at one point, this bird eventually decides to stop eating. So focus. If it really focus its attention to see the other bird, you climb and reach on top, and then you find there's no other bird. You only realize that the bird was eating the fruit, actually the reflection of this original bird. This is the relationship between Pathmanathan and Jivatma. So we are, the tree is our body, okay, the experience that we receive from the world is the fruits. And we are very busy, okay, with the current state of the Jiva, okay, with the body that you receive. So very easy, we are very busy eating the fruit. We are not looking within. So this is basically the principle they try to share. That means the supreme consciousness is within your reach. It's whether you want it or not. So another important principle I'd like to share today is that when you become a spiritual aspirant, or when you pursue Dharma, so now you're pursuing, you're trying to understand what is Sanathana Dharma. Sanathana Dharmika or Sanatani must be a theist. We should be a theist. So by being a theist, or in Sanskrit is known as astika, okay? The opposite of nastika. Nastika I don't believe in. So what is astika? An astika will believe, or not, rather will acknowledge the reality of Jivatma, Paramatma and Veda, but not by blind belief, but by analysis and understanding. Okay, after analysis and understanding, he will develop Shraddha through this principle. So Shraddha is not blind belief, blind belief. And what is Veda? So we have seen what is Jivatma, what is Paramatma. Last week we have seen. And I received some messages that this topic, this particular topic about Jivatma and Paramatma is quite deep and not easy to comprehend. It doesn't matter, we will have these sessions continuously, and I will revisit this subject again and again, okay, from different perspectives to make you understand better. And now, the second bullet, what is Veda? So Veda signifies knowledge about the process that helps the Jivatma to move or to merge to Paramatma. Okay. So, and Veda is not only just for Veda. Okay. Any Dharma Shastra is Veda. And what is Dharma Shastra? The knowledge that which came from a realized being, a guru. It's a Veda. Okay. So even in recent time, so some of Ramana's teaching, so they compile it and call it Ramana Gita, for example. So that is actually a form of Veda. Okay. So whenever realized guru gives his teaching, yeah, through his realization, that is Veda. Even the Tiruvarupa of this Saint Valala is a form of Veda. Okay. So three things. You must understand the nature of Jivatma, the nature of Paramatma, and understand that you need to merge with Paramatma and Veda. Now, another concept, principle that I'd like to introduce and emphasize is that so becoming now you are joining these classes, and earlier you have joined this sort of classes in satsang. So studying is very important. Okay. The other thing is very important is to do sadhana. Sadhana means spiritual practice. The word sadhana came from the word sat, means sustained effort. So at least twice a day. So in the past, these Brahmins, they will do this Sandhya Vandana, they will do Gayatri Japa at least twice or thrice daily. Okay? So that is not exclusive to the Brahmins. It is a practice which everybody should undertake. And this is a Nitya Karma. It is also known as Adhyatma Jagya. So this because um, some people will say that they're doing good in life. They are educated, so they are earning well, and everything is fine in their life. So therefore, spiritual practice. So spirituality is not necessary at all, and nobody is sure whether it is true or not. Okay? Spirituality, the knowledge about Atman, and your own Atman. Actually, the Atman for you is like a root. Okay? Whatever you enjoy in life currently is like the fruit. Okay? And the fruit is also because of your prarabdha. You have some good karma from the past life, that's why you have good prarabdha in this present life. But that will be exhausted somehow. So what is important is you have to constantly water the tree. So watering the tree of water the root. The root is Atman. So how you want to water it is by sadhana. So one form of sadhana, the simplest form of sadhana is japa. Okay? If you can find a teacher to learn meditation, sadhana of meditation, very good. So any form of sadhana should be done. Okay? Why? That will maintain clarity. So we discuss about the subconscious mind is now. Okay? To keep the subconscious in a proper state, in a state of balance. Okay? So spiritual practice is really necessary. So even in this time of COVID, okay, if you could create a very strong vibration by doing sadhana, that will protect you and your family. Okay? A person who could do good sadhana, good spiritual practice, can create a vibration within 200 meters square. Okay? Even if you don't create for 200 meters square, you can create within the boundary of your house, that is good enough. And if one person is not good enough, four or five people can get together and do collective meditation and collective kirtan or bhajan. Okay? All this will help you. Because one of the reasons why we are suffering from this COVID pandemic is because the force of dharma is shaken. Okay? Force of adharma is very strong. So it is nature's way to destroy the adharmic process by this is the information of some gurus that until the balance, until the balance is restored, this thing will not move on. So the quickest way to manage this is we should do spiritual practice collectively.
But then those who are following Dharma is also affected.
Okay, I'll come to that again. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, now. So let us see the chapter 2, the continuity from the past week. This is the 14th and the 15th sloka. 14th sloka, Matra Sparshastu Kaunte Shitoshna Sukta Dukka Agama Payo Nityastans Titikshaswa Parta Yang Hi Na Yata Yanjate Purusham Purusha Shashava Samadukka Sukam Dhiram So Mritattvaya Kripati, which translates the context of the senses with the objects, O son of Kunti, which cause heat and cold, pleasure and pain, have a beginning and an end. They are impermanent, endure them bravely, or descendant of Bharata. That calm man who remains unchanged in pain and pleasure, whom this cannot disturb alone, is able, or greatest man's mind, to attain immortality. Okay? So, the key word here, you'll see like the first one, in the Sloka 14 is Agama Bhaya and Anitya. So the commentary for this. Through our contact with the world, we are subject to varying experiences such as pleasure and pain, heat and cold, etc. These are the way of the world. Okay? And we all know, most of us have lived long enough, so we know nothing is permanent. So if you're happy now, there's some unhappiness will come later. Okay? And it won't be permanent. And that's why it is called Agama Bhaya. The word Agama Bhaya, use that. With any experience will have a beginning and end. And it is anitya, it is impermanent. And you must develop titiksha, forbearance. Okay? See, studying scripture, studying the principles, okay, of spirituality like this is the process of jnana yoga. Okay? So with jnana yoga, you try to analyze things using logic, using your subconscious mind. Okay? Try to understand the way of the world. Okay? But why we don't study it in that manner is because we are very busy in our business of survival. Okay, so a little bit. Okay, I mean, when you practice dharma, so jnana yoga is part of it. Okay, so it is important to understand that, yeah, the duality, the dual experience like pleasure and pain, heat and cold is natural, and you need to learn for that. And in the second sloka, spiritual aspirant should balance his own mind while experiencing everything in life, be it good or bad. And the ability to withstand pleasure and pain will qualify the person for liberation. Okay? It's maintaining the balance. Okay, it goes back to the basic principle, Purushartha. You have to balance all four. You balance it, you can face life. If you have no balance, then there will be more challenge. Okay, again goes back to subconscious mind. Okay? Keep your subconscious mind positive, you will be steady. You do sadhana, you will be steady. Okay? So the conclusion, okay, with this week's lesson is that human beings should follow Satya in their life. Okay? So the importance of Satya is present. Okay? And every human being should do sadhana regularly. And every being should participate in satsang. And the correct method to study spiritual subject is Shravana, Manana, and Nididhyas. And every being should understand how the mind functions and manage the mind. Okay? So managing the subconscious mind is mind management, part of mind management. So just like you clear your phone, you clear your computer, unwanted file. So you have to make sure. Okay? So there's a process in yoga called pratyahara. So that is clearing unwanted thoughts. Okay? In fact, your system itself through dream will clear all unwanted thoughts from your mind every night. Okay? And every sadhaka or dharmika should be an astika and understand what is Jivatma, Paramatma, and Veda. And every human being should understand the dual nature of life and develop forbearance. And finally, the Atman is permanent, while this life is impermanent. Okay? The declaration of Tantra. Brahma Satyam. Okay? Brahma is the absolute truth. And this world, Jagadavi Satyam Apekshikam. In this world, they call this world Jagat. Jagat means the world of dynamic nature. It keeps changing. So even our body, so from baby now you will become an adult. Okay, the moon used to be. We don't in early stages we don't have the moon back. Now we have the moon. Some stars will disappear from the sky after millions of light years. So in this Jagat things keep changing, but the Atman will never change. Okay? So with that I conclude the lesson of this week. Namaskar. Thank you for listening. So now I'll open for discussion. Okay, is there any question that I need to address? Brother Shata, is there any question in the chat?
So one small question, sir. Can you please go back to the slide where it shows all the stages of chakras?
Okay.
Chakras in the body.
Yeah. Okay.
How do I know which chakra has gone to be? I mean, in my body, I have developed to which chakra? Sorry, my question also is not so correct, I think.
Okay. Chakra, I think, is a very
In which chakra in my body is active? I don't know whether I'm putting in the right way.
Okay. Looking at chakra, if you do a dissection, you will not find anything there. Okay? But what you will find physically is the gland. The seven, the roughly 50 glands in some gland. So you have like the top chakra, so it is associated with the pineal gland. It's a very important gland. Okay, so that gland is associated with Atma. Then at the Bhrumatya, the point between the eyebrows, the Agya chakra, you have the pituitary gland. Then at the center of throat, where you have the Visuddha chakra, you have the thyroid and parathyroid gland. Then the heart center, Anahata, you have the thymus gland. And Manipur chakra, so I'm talking about the main gland. That is adrenal gland. And Swadhisthana, you have all these glands related to the reproductive system. Okay. So and most of the glands with the lower chakras are connected, the Muladhara and Swadhisthana. And naturally, to answer your question, all these chakras, the Muladhara chakra is the highest chakra for animals. And for human beings, we start here. And naturally, the first three chakras are active. Okay. So, and if you are already evolved enough, you will be, you may come with develop Anahata chakra. Okay. It depends on the kind of sadhana you do and your evolution from the past, the higher chakra will be active. Okay. So, naturally, if you want to know which chakra in your body is active, see your lifestyle. So, you look at the Purushartha. If you are naturally indulged only in pursuit for survival and progress, so your three main chakras which is more actively working is Muladhara, Swadhisthana, and Manipura. But if you start to do interested in spirituality, doing service, selfless service to others, your Anahata and above is active. And if you have already developed some spiritual awareness, okay, not intellectual knowledge, awareness, that means your this Visuddha is also working. Okay. So, do you get some idea out of that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I say that the state of nirvana as stated by Buddha is equated to Sastra?
Yeah, it is Sastra. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Yep. So, any other question from the participant? Everybody is very quiet. The brother Will is not around. I think.
I'm here.
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, yeah.
No, I was just hoping that someone else, I just didn't want to seem dominating.
So you won't be. All right.
Now, I do have some questions about
Okay, you
sadhana.
you can put forward.
Okay.
So anyway, I just want,
Sadhana.
because I have just seen that some comment that the clarity is not so good today. Is it clear now?
Yeah, clear here.
Is it much better now?
Yeah. No, I'm talking about my voice. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Okay.
My question sadhana, let's say when can I not do sadhana? Can I not do it at midnight?
The well is not very clear.
Okay, hang on. Let me try again. Because I got a new pair of headsets. Okay, what about now? Clear?
Yes, now clear. Yeah.
Okay. So sadhana, when can I not do sadhana? Because I've got two instances when I actually did it, which I wasn't sure. I was too tired right after a jog. So I went for a run outside. In fact, I think my jogging went a bit overboard. So I was too tired. But I came back home. I just even my mind was a bit off. So I thought, okay, you know what? Let me just do a sadhana. But I wasn't sure if I could. And to be honest, that wasn't a very peaceful kind of a sadhana session. So that's one instance. Second instance, can I do it very late at night, like midnight or 1 a.m.? Is it okay?
Okay. So with regard to sadhana, okay, let me explain the basic principle. So Guru Deva mentioned this one. They follow this principle. They do not eat your breakfast without doing your morning sadhana. Okay? And do not eat your dinner without your evening sadhana. So the principle is like that. Always remember is the Supreme Being that sustains you. And if you put food before Supreme Being, that means you do not know your priority. I think that's a very good principle for anybody to follow. Okay. Now, then we have a scenario like what you mentioned. So you come back from work, maybe it's a bad day, with bad traffic, or you go for a jogging. So I understand, I have this experience. When you go for jogging, it's kind of physically intense activity. You will be only activating your what you call adrenal gland, okay? Because the physical activity is intense. As a result, your blood will be full of adrenaline. So when the blood is full of adrenaline, you are very your conscious mind will be very active. So even if you close your eyes to do sadhana, you can never do sadhana. Okay? So you can never do sadhana when the conscious mind is active. So if your blood is full of adrenaline, sadhana is not possible for sure. Okay. On the other hand, if you have a lot of endorphin, okay, the happiness hormone and all that, which you can induce all these good hormones, like some all the preliminary what they call spiritual practices like pranayama and all that, which actually will somehow pacify the subconscious mind and also will induce the hormone from the pineal gland, especially the melatonin. Okay? So, of course, right after exercise is not a good idea. Okay? So, whenever you face this kind of scenario, you can always do what you suggested earlier. You can do it maybe later before you sleep. Okay? But then, when the Guru said, "Do not eat your dinner without," so at least it's just like taking your attendance. So you may just do a very short sadhana, just to fulfill the requirement. And then you continue with your dinner and all that. And later, when your mind is in a proper state, you can do a proper sitting. That is okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so I think that's okay.
Okay.
But the key, so why you must understand why after exercise difficult is the physically tired also will be a problem. Yes, when the physical body is not, even if you don't get proper sleep, stamina in the morning is difficult. So even if you eat a lot of food, eating late and a lot of food, so the digestion will be impaired. So the next morning, you won't be able to watch.
Yeah, okay.
All right. So there's another question in chat that something about Panchakosa. Okay. Okay, I shall refer to the slides from last week. So addressing this question. Okay. So the structure of Jiva is like this. You have the Atman, but Atman is the witness. And you have this I, which is your like the mother. That's the first awareness. Then you have the consciousness of Aham or I do, and the Chitta. And this Chitta consists of 5 layers. Okay. So earlier we discussed about the conscious mind. The conscious mind is the subconscious, and it is the Kamamaya kosha is conscious. It's closely associated with the body or the Annamaya kosha. Okay. So why the body is known as Annamaya? Because it's made of food. Anna means food. And Manomaya is the mind which actually think, layer of mind which think, memorize, solve problems, dream, so on. So the question just now is, please explain about the koshas beyond Manomaya. So it's very interesting. See, this Atimanasa kosha is the layer of mind where the prarabdha, your samskara is stored. Okay, so that's why when a spiritual aspirant begin sadhana, spiritual practices, the first important thing is first they have to stabilize the subconscious and conscious and subconscious, and you begin your spiritual practice. You utilize your subconscious mind to do your sadhana. Means you concentrate, all those things, use your subconscious mind. And what are you trying to do? First, you have to balance this. Okay? So one of the quickest way to balance this is breathing exercise. Then you will be slowly trying to unfold this, the supramental or the Atimanasa kosha. And you can only do this through the process called pratyahara. Okay? So that's where you will begin to clear some of the unwanted program from your this unconscious mind. Okay? And this doesn't happen in 1 or 2 days. See, here, a good spiritual aspirant will take about 12 years to make a significant progress in your sadhana. Okay? So you go then from, unless you're very evolved, then in the case of very evolved sadhaka like Ramana Maharishi. So all this, the higher kosha, see, Ramana Maharishi is already here. That's why he could leave everything, and he was just wearing a loincloth and nothing, and he was so contented with it because he is at the Vijnanamaya kosha. This Vijnanamaya kosha is actually the seat of Vairagya, the state of detachment. Okay? And Viveka, the state where you know the difference between good and wrong. You'll only be doing the right thing, you'll never do the wrong thing. So Vijnanamaya kosha is a very high state. If you reach here, you become like a thing. Then Hiranmaya kosha is just the last layer before the Atman. So when at Atimanasa kosha, this is where the sense of Dharma will be awakened. Okay? So we can listen about discourses and lectures about Dharma, but it won't have any effect. You'll listen here. But unless it reaches here, your Dharma will not be awakened. Okay? The urge to do Dharma will not be awakened. So if you think that you still, the urge to do Dharma is still not very strong, that means you have to do a lot of social service. Okay? And surrender, find a guru who can guide you. Guru means someone who is spiritually elevated. Because when a powerful guru, when he possesses the city, he can create an impact in your this kosha. And suddenly you will be awakened. Okay? And a more elevated guru can affect you from here. So that is known as Gandharva Vidya. So some gurus can sing very well and speak very well. So from here they will influence your Atimanasa kosha. Okay? And some guru possesses Deva Vidya. So this is also the Madhyam guru they possess. And a guru who have reached the state of Satguru, they will influence you from the state of Atman. That is Brahma Vidya. Okay? So how all the spiritual blessings all take place is through these koshas. Okay? It's a very interesting subject. And I think Brother Velu also requested here. So after I cover some key topics in the Bhagavad Gita series, I will come back again to this subject or portion. Okay. So, if there's any more questions? Even some participants are leaving the class already. Is there any more questions? One last call. Okay. So just remember the key takeaways from today's class. Stay involved in satsang. Study. Yeah. Hello? Yeah, I heard somebody's voice. That's why I continue. So, involved in satsang, study the scriptures, and also do sadhana and manage your subconscious mind. Okay? With that, I conclude the lessons of this week. Thank you for listening.
There's one more question in the chat.
One more. I can't see. One more again. Which layer of mind do the scientist, song composer, writer get ideas? Okay. Gandharva Vidya, so someone who song composer, scientist, and all that. See, the layer which is involved is it involves both Atimanasa and Vijnanamaya. Okay? The supramental and the subliminal. Because some ideas even will come from the Atimanasa person. Okay? And very high ideas come from the Vijnanamaya person. Okay? Alright. So we will look at this subject again in the future class. Okay? Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Namaskar.